welcome to Consume Content. I am Josh. This is Matt.
I'm Matt.
That's Matt. And today we're going to talk about, Matt's going to talk about a show. What show is it, Matt?
We don't know. We gotta find out.
What do you mean we got to find out? Oh my God.
I recently, I'm about to catch up on What We Do in the Shadows.
Okay. How many seasons does it have?
It's currently on the 4th, but it's about to finish up the 4th.
Oh, Jesus.
And we're talking about the show.
Yeah. I've seen neither the movie nor the show. So, I've seen clips of the movie.
I'm aware of... Well, I've seen the movie. I just saw it recently, too. So really, I got into the show hearing it was pretty good, loved it, and decided, I should make sure to watch the movie. So I watched the movie because of the show. If anything, it's one of those. It's like, you love it so much, you need more.
Are they the same characters portrayed by different actors, or is it a different set of characters?
Same universe, different characters.
Okay, that's good.
I mean, there's not really much to spoil, so I can tell you.
The premise is it's a comedy about vampires in modern day, right? Where does this one take place in? Doesn't the movie take place in New Zealand?
Yeah. So the original one, which I think is the conception of this whole universe, this whole story, is Taika Waititi and Jermaine Clement. I think it's Jermaine, not Jermaine. But it's the two of them, and I think there's another writer as well, but mostly they're the ones mainly credited, and I think Taika Waititi they both kind of direct. But yeah, they made the movie, and it's about those two, and as well as another guy living as vampires in New Zealand, and then other characters pop up, and all there's other vampires and stuff. But yeah, so the movie is about them in New Zealand in, I think, 2014 I think is when it came out. So that one, obviously it's still new, it's a modern movie, but it's weird, it feels dated. I think it's because it's one of their earlier projects, so it didn't have a huge budget. Which seems weird because the makeup, the costumes are really well done, but the setting is really just an old house that they seem to find while driving around looking for tacos.
Is that like a behind the scenes thing?
No, I was just coming up with something. Because it's so mainly I want to talk about the show because that's the thing to sell people on. The movie was great. I think it was a little early in, I guess, their careers to really hit their stride, or maybe because of them making that movie and it reaching decent success, they made the show, and I think the show is really blowing up.
Yeah. I see ads for it everywhere now. So, like you were saying, I think we have to talk about it before it becomes, a bigger part of the pop culture zeitgeist. Exactly.
I think we need a term for stuff that's too big. We can't talk about it on the show. Because it's already annoying enough. This damn show you made, Josh. There's already like a slim margin of the things we can talk about, but specifically the things you want to talk about most, the biggest things, and we can't talk about them.
I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry that I was just trying to come up with a concept that I heard somewhere that you have to niche down and get super specific in order to make something more authentic. Sorry if I was trying to, do something different with a podcast.
Yeah, you should be.
All right, I am sorry. But again, like you were saying, we can do popular stuff for other things. We can do special episodes.
I've got ideas.
You've got ideas. We all dress up as Batman. That's one of them.
Oh, well, yeah, but no, that was actually kind of your idea. You brought up Batman.
I brought up Batman, yeah, but...
And I just added some color.
Some color to it. So...
Yeah, you haven't played...
What?
Deathloop, have you?
I've not played Deathloop, no.
It's Deathloop, right?
Yeah, it's Deathloop.
Yeah, but I fucking love that game. It was so good. So it's good you haven't played it, so maybe I'll tell you about it.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that. maybe we'll do like a playthrough or something. Cause I don't know. I just like haven't been. I don't know. That game doesn't like pull. The concept does like it's an interesting concept, right? But like I don't necessarily. I don't want to. You're gonna have to like sell me on it, cause like it's
Hey, what? Well, hold on.
what.
I told you
Uh huh.
because I other before we were doing the show,
Uh
we
huh.
would talk to each other maybe every few months.
Yeah.
Just a text out of the blue, just hey,
Uh huh.
what's up, or
Yeah.
I texted you out of the
Yeah.
blue because I told you,
Uh huh.
dude, I'm finally playing this game. I think you'd love it.
Uh
And only now am I hearing like it just doesn't grab me. I don't want to play it. You told me you would play it.
I know I did, but then I tried it. Like I looked at it, I pulled it up on Steam, and I kept seeing it on sale, and I was just like, I said, I don't wanna.
You son of a! It was even on sale.
It
I
was on
told you,
sale.
like,
It was
I
on
wasn't
sale
even pushing
twice.
you.
It was on sale
Yeah,
twice since we spoke about it last.
I was like, oh, it's really great. I think you'd love it. Maybe I guess if you're not, super into the idea, you can wait for a sale. And it's been
I
on sale
passed it up. I
twice.
passed it up twice. I need to finish
You
Dishonored 2.
son of a bitch.
I need to finish Dishonored 2 before I move on to Deathloop, but not really. I just
hate
need
you.
to I need to make the time. It's it's on your list, so I guess you sell me on it. We'll play it at some point. It's supposed to be really fun. I know that. I don't.
It's really fun.
Yeah, what I'm playing.
Especially if you
Mhm.
like the other Arcane games. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Arcane, it's
Mhm.
like they're just downloading their style of gameplay straight from
Mhm.
my brain. It's
Yeah.
I love Dishonored,
Mhm.
the both of them, and I actually just played Death of the Outsider because I just for some reason I never had. It was it wasn't really a sequel. It wasn't a
Mhm.
third game. It was kind of a standalone separate story.
Yeah.
Even but what I've learned from playing it, it's basically Dishonored 3. It was so
Okay.
good.
Okay. I really got to go back and play it. I've been playing. I don't know. I don't know why. Like, I guess sometimes like I have cravings. I'm sorry. I don't have an excuse as to why I didn't play it. I just didn't play it. I'm
Hold
sorry.
on. Go ahead. Tell me why.
I
Why?
don't know. I don't know. I try.
Now you can't hide.
I open up Steam and there's other things I want to play instead. I
And
get
then
home.
what? You
I'm
you end
tired.
up playing Plants vs Zombies.
No, yeah, I do.
Son of a bitch.
I do on my phone.
I
It's so.
knew it.
I have to like for Plants vs Zombies. I have to turn on airplane mode on my phone so I don't get ads while playing. And so it's
Are there Wait, which one are you playing?
the
The second
original one. The original.
There's
They
ads in
added.
the
They
original?
added. Oh, it has ads and microtransactions and all sorts of stuff. Like there's a whole Zen Garden mode where like you generate in-game currency. It's all a stupid grind.
I knew about that because I recently replayed
Mhm.
it and I was like finally
Mhm.
deciding to get all the achievements or whatever.
Mhm.
Just because like to kill time, kind of
Mhm.
like when it was slow at work or whatever. So yeah, I'm very aware of all that. I just recently stopped playing it completely, but I played it a bunch for a little while,
Mhm.
and I don't remember seeing ads. I wasn't getting ads for it. I remember
I
the
wasn't getting ads.
microtransactions.
I wasn't getting ads for the longest time, which is why I kept it on my phone because it was a
Yeah.
nice like comfort game that I could play without ads and it would literally only like a couple months ago when I picked it up again did I start getting ads on it. And I even
Hmm.
like paid for like no ads. Like there's a no ad feature and it doesn't work. It didn't it like
Oh,
I don't know
weird.
if there's some sort of glitch or something, but the no ads feature just does not work for me.
I
And
know that there's a bunch of different versions of it
mhm,
because they have an HD version for iPads and bigger
mhm,
tablets. There's the computer version like you can get on Steam or
mhm.
Origin or whatever, and I have it on more than one
Yeah.
device for some. I really love that game. That was such a good
Mhm.
game.
The
But yeah,
PC version I have is just so low res. I need like an HD I need an HD remake because it's stuck in it's stuck in a weird format, like screen format. It's weird. It's just weird. It
yeah,
looks
that's just
bad.
nostalgia for me. I like it.
I love it. I love it.
Give me the
Um,
pixels.
give me, give me, give,
I'd rather take my pixels away.
Yeah. Ooh. But yeah, so I've been playing that on and off, and then I've been playing Vermintide 2. Like that's my most recent purchase. Like I just bought that recently,
Oh,
and
good.
yeah, and so it's like I bought like the Game of the Year edition with all the DLC, and it's fun. It's Left 4 Dead style, and it's
That's
for
great. I
yeah. I'm
Did
sorry.
someone else make recommendations for
No,
that for you?
nobody recommended it to me. I just really wanted to play it because
Okay.
I saw it on a stream. I saw it on a stream, and then there's it.
I can link you hundreds of Deathloop streams if that's what you need. I can stream it for you.
But my favorite streamers were playing it, and they were
God damn
having a
it,
great
John.
time.
Fine.
They were having a great
Fine.
time being friends and whatnot. And
Are you having friends now?
no, I'm
Is
playing
this
by
having
myself.
friends?
I'm playing by myself because I can't convince anybody else to buy it.
Is it actually Left 4 Dead? Like it's a multiplayer?
Yeah,
Co-op?
it's a 4-player co-op. There's five character classes to pick from. Well, more specifically, there's 5 characters to pick from. Each of them come with 3 to 4 different careers, is what they call the classes. So like you have your elf, and then you have like 4 different classes that elf character can be, for example, or you can be a dwarf, right? Really, like it's very funny to play. Like you can play as like a 6 foot tall human, which is just like soldier, really cool guy. I think he's Scottish or some other like northern Englishman.
He helps
And
his grandma out on weekends. Really cool guy.
Probably, and then or you can play. No, he's not Scottish. Or you can play as the dwarf who are traditionally Scottish, and he's like 4 feet tall, and it's so your camera perspective is like as a 4 foot tall person.
Are
And
you
so
crotch level?
you're shorter. You're shorter
the
than
man?
all. You're shorter than all the enemies. Like you're about. I think you're shorter even than the rat people that you fight in the game, and that's hilarious. But yeah, there's 5 characters to play from. It's Left 4 Dead style, 4-player co-op. It's good. It's really good. But
I mean, I'm sure it's good. Maybe we'll trade video game sells.
Maybe
You can sell me on that.
And so,
But when you're not,
yeah.
when you're not sticking the knife in my back
Sorry.
with the game, no, I don't care that much. I honestly just feel bad because I do really think you'd like it. The things that you really focus on, the characters in Deathloop, they're really well written. There's not a ton of development because it's like a lot of gameplay. There's a lot of just action, but it's just the little bits of character you do get really sells it. It was really fun.
I really need to just pull the trigger and play Deathloop. Because it's there you go with your tiny little gun again. I'm sorry, audio listeners. He's threatening me with a live weapon, a tiny live weapon, and
But you're right. We're not here to sell that.
I do recommend Vermintide 2 though. Vermintide 2 is great. It's gonna be playing
Stop
that.
it. This isn't that episode. We'll get to
fine. We'll get to that later. I guess I forgot what I was gonna say anyway.
Good.
I forgot what I was going to say. I have a little bit more coffee, a little bit more iced coffee.
But anyway, late nights. I have been, because I'm not totally caught up on What We Do in the Shadows. But like you, I was hearing a lot about it. So I was like, actually, I tried watching it months ago because it was still gaining popularity as it is now. It hadn't reached that critical mass where you're hearing it everywhere yet, but you were hearing just little recommendations here and there. So I tried it months ago. I watched a couple episodes, and I feel like I was just unprepared for the style. I had no idea what it was. I just heard it's about vampires in a modern day setting, and it's quirky and fun. And I didn't know I didn't know the amount of comedy or the style. I just knew, vampires, What We Do in the Shadows. And I don't know. I think I tried it and I was just too tired. It was too late and it was too unexpected. So I just kind of watched a couple episodes and I was like, okay. I do actually enjoy it. It's just like it's not grabbing me. So I just stopped. I had other things I was watching at the time, but then recently, as over time I kept hearing about it more from just friends and like other podcasts and recommendations, and I was like, oh wait, yeah, I do know exactly what it is now. I saw a little bit, but I should give it another shot.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened, because this was like maybe a month ago. I decided to just start over with those first couple episodes and just go for it, and I fell in love with it. I think I was just much more alert. I was catching all the jokes. I was picking up the Watiti, because it's very Watiti.
It's important to pick up the Watiti.
Don't drop your Watitis. Make sure you pick them up. They're
Watitis.
like banana peels.
You slip on them.
Make sure you pick them up.
Yeah.
But that's also a thing, and I keep hearing people say it's very much Taika Waititi style. And I'm assuming Jermaine Clement. And I love both those guys. A lot of the work I've seen from them has been really great. And the show is just more proof of that. I think they're just really solid storytellers and just comedians. Not in the traditional sense, but with the shows that they make. Tell me, what else do you know of the show?
I know that there is a character who's an energy vampire. I know that. I saw a clip that was utterly hilarious of him going through a corporate office and just like eating people alive, so to speak, because he's an energy vampire and just absorbs. I'm a little confused as to how it works. Like he tires people out emotionally, and that's how he drains them.
Well, no, specifically not emotionally. And I say that because there is reference to that in an episode. So he doesn't emotionally drain them. So you're safe, Josh. Don't worry.
Okay.
If you run into an energy vampire, you're not that vulnerable.
Got it.
But I don't know. Now I'm kind of realizing maybe I don't, because I'll tell you, that character, the energy vampire, I loved all the other characters already right away, but it's just some of the moments, and I'll tell you his name. Actually, do you know his name? Did anyone tell you his name?
I don't know any of the characters' names.
The others are traditional vampires in the house. There's like, because they're hundreds of years old. There's Nandor, Laszlo, Nadja with a J.
Yeah.
And then the fucking energy vampire is Colin Robinson.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
It's perfect. It's so perfect. And I think that is what really sold me. That was the moment when they introduced him and they kind of showed him doing his thing. And I think it was the very first episode. I was just like, what is this? Oh my God. I need so much more of this. It's so weird, but it's so good. And I'll tell you, I can give this away. Well, there's nothing really I can spoil. There is definitely a plot, but it's a comedy, it's a sitcom.
It's a sitcom, yeah.
It's a mockumentary, actually.
Okay.
Specifically mockumentary, so there's plenty of talking heads, just characters to camera, interview kind of stuff. A lot of looks to camera, like just there's a vampire familiar, one of the main characters. He's kind of our lifeline as viewers. Obviously, we see the vampires and they make them extremely relatable because they're just children, idiots. Basically. They've, for hundreds of years, they just do whatever they want, so they're basically children. But then there's a realist in their midst. One of the vampires has a familiar, so he's a human. Yeah. And his whole thing is he's hoping to be a vampire one day, so that's why he's helping them out.
Yeah.
And it's just constantly, the vampires get into shit. And then Guillermo, he's the familiar. He does a Jim Halpert. It's just
he's the guy who looks into the camera.
Yeah, goes, well, they all. Yeah. Well, actually, yeah, I guess it is mostly him because he's that. That's like what I was saying. He's that connection to us. It's like, oh yeah, I have a boss who's just fucking like that. It's like, Guillermo, why didn't you clean up the bodies in the hallway? And he just turns the camera. Well, he's been doing it all night.
Yeah,
stuff
Guillermo,
like that. Yeah. Guillermo, yeah, he's constantly getting blamed, and honestly, that's another ongoing joke. It's never called out, but the vampires just think so highly of themselves.
Yeah,
they just hate the shit out of any human. Obviously, it's their prey. It's their cattle, but they live in a human world. But it's just constantly some of the characters just don't even know Guillermo's name. They just really? Like he walks in the room after they've been spending the entire day together, and he's like, "Who is that again?"
Oh, okay.
It seems like it would be out of place, but they're so consistent with it, and that's another positive thing I think with the show. They're very consistent with the characters. The writing is very solid. It's not so spread apart like a lot of the other mockumentaries where it's very episodic. It's just one little mishap, and then they follow that for 20 minutes, and then the episode's over. They connect them pretty well. But yeah, it's Colin Robinson. Another one of those things, in a comedy, it's just the tiniest little detail they throw it in.
Look who it is.
He's doing his digging.
He's doing his digging. He noticed us looking, so he stopped.
He was for a second. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't want to be disturbed.
Oh, no, he's sleeping.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so you're right. Colin Robinson, his thing is he's an energy vampire. He I don't want to get too far into the details. It's just too good. Yeah. It's too funny, but all the time he does one of those things where he looks to camera at just the right moment. He it's great physical comedy, I should say. There's just his thing is he drains people, right? Yeah. He's an energy vampire, so he's not sucking blood. He doesn't do any of that. It's nothing physical. He bores people and frustrates people. That's how he draws his energy. He drains people. Anything that a human experiences that drains their energy, he causes. Like, he just drones on about really boring stuff. Yeah. And then whenever he gets someone good, or just someone's dealing, like the other characters are just dealing with some other stuff, and there's just some crazy, just something frustrating happens. Yeah. The camera will just like zoom in on Colin Robinson, and he just looks at camera, and he's just got this stupid smile, and his eyes just have this little shimmer, and it's just like, he's just soaking up the frustration. He's the perfect character to just throw in and throw everyone off. Yeah. But he's also such a minor character. Everyone hates him because the whole point of his existence is he annoys people.
Yeah. Oh my god. I think I would watch the show for him because he's a huge selling point for me.
Yeah. It's one of the quirkiest parts of the show, and I love the fact that they put him in, because they didn't have a character like that in the movie, now that I think about it.
No, I don't remember.
It was just vampires, like traditional vampires, and then the old guys versus brand new vampires kind of thing, that dynamic. Yeah. There were some callbacks in the show where they're directly referencing like comedy from the movie. Like there's other mythical creatures, and there's like ones in the movies, and they do an episode where a similar thing will happen in the show. And by the way, sorry to answer your much earlier question, the show takes place in Staten Island, New York.
Why?
The lamest I don't want to
okay, yeah, don't
offend
spoil
anyone, but it's
is it the boring is it a very boring place where the energy vampire can just absorb a lot?
No, I mean it's one of the boroughs, a New York borough, so it's like you're close enough to the city for it's like us being close to LA. It's like there is the big city, and you can get everything you need there, but there's also just we live out in the suburbs, or we live out in like a smaller area, and that's just their thing. It's like vampires, these eternal creatures, meant to take over the world or whatever, or have the potential to, and they're just living in this like old creepy house in Staten Island.
Makes sense. That's great.
There is some humor played off of the fact that they're just in Staten Island.
They're just living in Staten Island. I always think that's weird. Just like, well, not really. I don't think that's weird. I think it's weird that like you ever think it's weird like if you were born the place you were born? Like, it's weird I was born in that place. Like, I could have been born anywhere. Like, it could be lucky. I don't know. I'm getting existential. I'm kind of tired. It's fucking.
Well, what are you saying?
I'm just saying, like, I was born in LA, right? I was born in LA, raised in LA, living in LA. I'm probably gonna die in LA, right? It's the goal. Okay. That's the goal. But
you're complaining about the one thing out of those things that you can't control.
No,
You
that's
can
not.
move.
I'm not complaining about that. I'm saying that's the goal. Dying in LA is the goal, right?
You want to be born, live, and die in the same city.
Live and die in LA. It was fucking. Anyway, I'm saying sometimes it's weird because like you make other people. I've discussed this with you before. I spent a brief amount of time in the film industry. I think when I was a kid, I just decided, it goes, oh, I live in LA. We're really close to Hollywood. I should just work in Hollywood when I grow up. And then I did that, and it was pretty fucking gruesome. And this cat won't stop crying. Okay, I'll be right back.
Once again, we witness Josh. You could call him a cat's familiar. He lives to serve them. The soonest cry meets his ears, he's gone. He's left his show in the middle of a recording to tend to the needs of the small furry creatures he lives amongst.
He's a rescue. He's a rescue. I'm trying to get him to.
Does that
What? That's Thor.
does that mean he's bad for doing that?
Doing what?
For being loud and meowing?
No,
Did
he's
you
not.
put him in a closet?
No, that's the back door. That's the outside where he wanted to go. I
Oh.
assure you, there's no walls beyond that door.
Josh, you locked your cat in a bathroom.
No. The bathroom is here. The outside is that way.
And
So
then if you open both doors,
at the same
you
time,
can breathe. You can breathe the fresh air while you're pooping.
it's and then there's a window in the restroom too. So it's a nice funnel, So it just like shoots in and out, all in one go. So
I think he meant tunnel.
tunnel. Okay, sure. And then, but anyway, he's a rescue. Been trying to get him to be comfortable with me forever. Moving on. You were
After
saying
some point, doesn't he stop being a rescue?
after a certain point, yeah, but he's still afraid of me. I mean, he let me pick him up right now. I say he let me, but I think he just gave up. And
Show us the scratches.
I have a scar on, or I had a scar. No, right here. I have a scar on this hand because he scratched me because I tried to pick him up. To be fair, I lifted a mattress to get him out from under the mattress and scared the shit out of him.
Well, why'd you do that?
Because I wanted to hold him, and so he wouldn't let me.
Leave him alone. What if he doesn't want to be held?
I had to. I had to learn. I learned the hard way that, respect his personal space and, let him get comfortable over time. It's been like 2 years, I think. So he's not a rescue anymore because we got him from the pound. But slowly but surely, he's getting more comfortable with me. He's okay.
You mean you weren't hunched over, like on your knees, walking down the alleys with an open can of cat food?
No, we got him at the pound. It's not a. Those were the old days.
Is that a thing? Are there still pounds? Do they call them pounds? They're shelters.
They're shelters, yeah. I guess they don't call them pounds. There's mosquitoes in here. I'm trying to catch them with my bare hands, but yeah, there's. I guess they're not called pounds. They're called shelters, but they function the exact same way. Let's not get into it. It gets pretty dark pretty quickly. Talking about shelters and pounds, it's pretty pessimistic, really quickly. Vampires. Let's talk about vampires.
Pessimism is your state of mind. It's not.
Yeah, it makes me
description
pessimistic. Yeah.
It's what. Okay.
I don't understand.
So it's basically Twilight.
It's basically Twilight. I don't get it. Oh, you mean vampires? Okay.
The show, it's just a complete remake of Twilight. It's Twilight, remake. But it as a TV show.
As a TV show, it's Twilight. Dreamy vampires that sparkle in the sun.
They don't really. They did take a different direction. Not that there's anything wrong with the looks of the main cast. Just it's honest. It's like kind of like I could see these characters, these people being from like the Ottoman Empire, like hundreds of years ago, and it's, yeah, but yeah, I don't know. They kind of found a really good formula, a really good way of writing these characters,
Mm-hmm.
where they very much carry the same attitude, the same, I don't know, persona that they would have in their own time periods, and they never let go of it. They never talk about it, but
Mm-hmm.
they don't care to adapt. They don't. I
That
mean,
makes
they
sense.
will in terms of like what happens in an episode, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they don't. They don't really make sacrifices like that. Their characters stay the same, and I guess that's just part of being a vampire.
Yeah,
You,
whoever they were when they turned is who they will always be, so to speak.
I Yeah, I guess I shouldn't say it like they don't grow at all. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like they don't learn, because they absolutely do,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just they learn in a way that's like fun to watch.
Uh, they have
They
to.
Yeah, which is just, I guess that you could just call it good writing, because it's like, yeah, you just have these characters and you enjoy watching them.
That's good to hear. Because
Is there an is there like a absolute horror vampire movie?
yeah, 30 Days of Night.
Is When was that made?
Years ago. I want to say late 2010, like
Oh, okay.
late knots, early 2010s, probably. Let me look it up. But
I
yeah,
was gonna.
that's. Are you familiar with that one?
No, not with that one. But I was thinking, because you remember that time period. Basically, that time you were just saying, kind of
Mm-hmm.
early, late aughts.
2007. Yeah, 2007.
Early 2010s. I think that was like the really popular time period for vampires,
Yeah.
because there was a period where they were huge. There's just so many movies, TV shows coming out for that.
Blade.
Then it was zombies. There's a
Yeah.
lot about zombies.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was just a different time, you know? It was where all of this stuff ended up at Hot Topic. Um,
Don't act like you weren't caught shopping
I
there
was
every
I was
weekend.
there. I was at the Hot Topic, all right? I was all the way to the store. I walked straight past the band t-shirts looking for whatever I could find that I think might be cool. And I'm pretty confident that's where I bought the book Zombie Survival Guide by Max Brooks. Pretty fucking confident it was there. If not, I don't think it was a Spencer's, because I don't think we had a Spencer's in my town back then. But
They wouldn't really. They don't sell any like pop culture stuff in a Spencer's. It's
it's
all
all
just the
yeah, it's all
gag
gag
stuff.
gifts. But like the Zombie Survival Guide looks like a gag gift. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's a book about zombies.
I
So
actually just rewatched World
mhm.
War Z.
Yeah,
It was good.
yeah, it's good. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. Yeah, I haven't read the book yet, but you know it's really good.
I
But yeah,
saw it. I think it's on HBO Max, and I was like,
mhm.
yeah, I want to rewatch it.
Yeah. I don't think I've actually seen 30 Days of Night. I'm looking at the trailer. Produced by Sam Raimi. You know,
Oh, produced by Sam Raimi.
produced. Yeah, director David Slade. Rhymes with Blade. But
Well, have you seen Blade?
I have seen 3 Blade movies. And then but
Three
yeah,
and a
so
half?
3, no, just 3. If you're not familiar with the concept of 30 Days of Night, I think, well, what's her name? Is this not Regina George in this? Hold on a second. No, that's not Regina
Strangely,
George.
her name is Melissa George.
Yeah, her name is Melissa George. And so, but who's the actress that plays Regina George?
Rachel McAdams.
Rachel McAdams. This is not Rachel McAdams. I thought that was her. But yeah, so if you're not familiar, dear audience, oh, I only got a 6.6 out of 10. What a shame.
Okay, but
what?
also, isn't that a thing we need to talk about? Where did you just get that figure? Where'd you get that rating from?
This is IMDb rating.
Okay, but
Yeah.
what does that mean? Who rated that?
So it
'Cause
looks like IMDb users rated it, right? And it looks like 28%, which is the majority of the vote, right? Which is 50,000 people, 50,705 people voted it was a 7 out of 10. And then,
Okay, so that's great that there's a large sample size, but
mhm.
what you know, list of like codes do they follow? This could just be any group of people. This could be anyone with an account, and they just start scrolling through and they rate movies as they go.
So
I
among rating by demographic, right? All ages, right? 6.6 out of 176,000 votes, right? Um, Younger than 18 gave it a 6.9, but that's only 23 votes. And then ages 18 through 29, 6.5. Ages
Wait.
30, what?
How did that happen?
What do you mean?
There's only 23 people under 18 who did this.
Who voted? Yeah, who voted?
That's why
not a lot
honestly,
of young people on IMDb.
Well, that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
That why do we go by these ratings? Honestly, IMDb is doing a decent amount. Like, there's a pretty large sample size.
Yeah, I mean, people have been railing against numbered ratings for years now. They don't make sense. It's trying to apply some sort of like objective logic to a completely subjective art form, and so I would agree with you. But the numbers don't lie, Matt. You understand? The numbers don't lie.
You just said the numbers here are lying.
They're not lying. They're just wrong.
Which means it's a lie.
That's not true. It's not a lie. It's not deceit. Okay, it's just a misinterpretation of ideas. It's statistics. Anyway, ages 30 through 44, right? Among both male and female, gave it a 6.5, and then 45 plus gave it a 6.6, right? And then they also split up between males and females.
Well, let's just not get all just into the numbers.
Sure.
Because I get that there's a decent amount of people on IMDb rating this, but I don't think they're screened at all. They just fill in their own personal demographic information, and then just if they have an account, these are all just the people who happen to have rated it.
I agree. I believe that is the case. And so let's look up Metacritic.
Okay, but then we also got to talk about Metacritic.
Yeah, Metacritic is supposed to be, better, I guess. I don't know.
I think in concept, on paper, it sounds better, but it's still, I hate to be so cynical about it. It's just like,
So 30 Days of Night got a Metascore rating of 53. Based on 29 critic reviews.
Have you seen this movie?
I've not seen this movie, so I can't tell you. But let's see
then
here.
What are we doing here?
This doesn't make any sense.
Bring Thor back in. Bring him back in. Bring Thor back in.
I can't. He comes and goes when he wants.
I'm done with this.
So but no, these ratings are. It's weird. It's weird how like a low rating can really tank a score, because Kyle Smith of the New York Post gave it a 25. And then there's a lot more reviews that give it like from 63 to 80.
See, yeah. I think Kyle Smith's family was killed by vampires, so he's clearly biased.
I think so. I think he's biased because I think he knew like the depiction of vampires was strictly false. Like, I think he knew, like, that's not how it happens. I know how it really happens. I know how they get you. All right? They seduce you. That's how they get you. They seduce you and everyone you love, and they take them one at a time until you're alone. Oh, I forgot to silence my phone.
At this point, it's a running gag, and now you have to leave it on loud every episode.
I guess so. I'm not doing it intentionally. I was doing a good bit there, and my phone ruined it. Anyway.
I don't know about that.
You son of a bitch. Anyway, I'm just saying. This guy, Kyle Smith, he knows. What a generic name. Thank God. Daily News. Lighter on horror than it is on inadvertent humor. That's a review. Let's see here. Wow. But the user rating, the user score out of 443 ratings is 8.0. Solid.
I mean, you can keep reading numbers, but I just kind of hold that same thought. Mm-hmm. I don't know these people rating this. If they're critics,
that's why we're here, Matt. That's why we're here.
But we haven't seen this movie.
I know, but you know what we're doing. That what this really is a review podcast with no spoilers for things we feel nobody has seen, and maybe that's gonna bite us in the ass due to search engine optimization. Now that I think about that again, shit. Anyway,
We can evolve.
we can evolve. We can evolve. We can change. But that's what we're here for, Matt. We're here to build trust in the public. All right, or the public build trust in us. No. So we build trust with the public so they can trust our opinions and know that we have their interests at heart. I think I'm saying that correctly.
I don't know. All I can hear is the cricket.
I don't even hear the cricket anymore. Did not hear the cricket until you told me there was a cricket.
Does
the cricket's
cricket have a
always here.
name?
No. Let's call him Stevie. He's always here. He's always here and he doesn't shut up. Stevie, shut up.
I think he's banging on the wall. He's still banging on the wall?
Stevie, shut up. No, okay, whatever. Stevie won't shut up. Anyway. What was I saying? I have a sip of iced coffee that I made.
You were gonna buy me a nice dinner.
I was gonna buy you a nice dinner. So we'll go out this weekend. I'll buy you a nice dinner. And but anyway, what I'm saying is we're gonna build trust with the public. So that way we can sell them subscriptions to HelloFresh. Not sponsored. You understand? All right. My motives are an ulterior. What?
But could be sponsored.
We could be sponsored. My motives are ulterior in nature. Anyway.
Ulterior to what?
What do you mean ulterior? Ulterior to, this. I have motives that are ulterior. If I can say ulterior motives, then that means I can also say motives that are ulterior.
No, but it's ulterior means they're ulterior to something else.
Yeah.
To what? What?
The motive being to be a trustworthy name in movie reviews, movie and show reviews, right? I also want money.
Oh, do you? Nah, you just cursed us. We're never gonna sell a goddamn thing.
But in order to wash myself of that capitalist sin, right? I do want.
You're gonna move to Russia.
No, there. No, I think I will. I'll try to remember. I hope I do. Remember to link to the Magic Yarn Project. I don't know if you saw that on Reddit. Are you familiar with that? This is not an ad read. We're not sponsored anyway, but I think I'd like to take a moment to just talk about the Magic Yarn Project, which is a nonprofit, 501c3 nonprofit. It's a charity that makes wigs out of yarn for kids with cancer. It is like, it makes me cry because these are some great looking wigs. I'll link to you the.
No, yeah, I pulled it up. I mean, that's great. That's super nice.
Yeah. So I think
don't they?
What?
Don't they? Isn't there a thing like you can donate your hair? Like
there is a thing.
Hair and stuff.
There's a thing, but apparently, that takes time, and I don't know the problems with it. Here's the thing about the Magic Yarn Project. It's just more fun. These yarn wigs are way more fun than some. And no offense to people donating their hair. Good on you. God bless you. I wish you all the love in the world. But you can't really beat these yarn wigs though. These yarn wigs are pretty fucking cool. Like they do straight up like Rapunzel wigs and like Disney theme wigs, and then like they do.
Pretty cool.
They're really fucking awesome. There's a picture
of Jack Sparrow.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna bring up next. There's a Jack Sparrow wig made of yarn. Cool. Super fucking cool. So I think if I can give any attention to these people, whoever are like 6 followers are listening, if anybody wants to give us money this early on into our
Are,
podcast career, don't.
are there 6 followers? Wait, whoa, hold on. What?
We've been over this. We have like 6 followers. Let me look at our stats again.
No. You said we had downloads, dude. Well, who were the followers?
Yeah, we have followers. Hold on a second. Analytics. Oh, we have 5 followers. We lost a follower.
Oh God.
Yeah.
No, the 5 of you, please. We'll do whatever you want. Just tell us. No. We'll talk about a movie.
Yeah, we got 20 downloads for episode 1, 15 for episode 2, 9 for episode 3, and 5 for episode 4. And then we lost the follower.
We're still trending downward.
We're still trending. Of course, we're trending downwards. It's an order of like oldest to most recent. Of course, our oldest episodes
have more because they're not that spread apart.
That's true. They're only like a week apart per episode, and so it's all right. We'll get better. It's fucking. Again, I haven't been cutting the TikTok clips yet. It's all about the TikToks. The moving. You gotta have.
I don't think
what
I don't think the market. I mean, obviously TikTok is huge right now, but at this format, I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think it'll play with. We have to like.
I see a lot of podcast clips on TikTok.
We have to throw like mustard balloons at each other.
You're absolutely right.
For TikToks.
You're absolutely right.
I think we should still put clips on TikTok, but I'm not. I don't think we're gonna like, go viral there.
You're absolutely right. It's just for funnel. It's just for exposure and funneling. So I take some of the lovely things you've said about today's show, what we do in the shadows, and I put that in a little clip. Add some graphics, right? Do a little editing to make things look more exciting than they actually are. Exactly, just like that. And then we, hopefully people follow us on TikTok. And then hopefully they go back and listen to the whole episode. Hopefully. And then hopefully I can,
Well, I don't know. It's still very open, so as we grow, hopefully we grow. We can see what people like, and then we're very very happy
I just want to be transparent about this entire process and how I want money.
Well, I mean, there's nothing to hide yet. We're just two guys.
Yeah, we're just two guys.
Hopefully, I don't know if you can hear the police in the back.
I can hear it, yeah.
But hopefully there will be more of us. But yeah, at the moment we're still just getting started. So
I really want to do like listener call-ins one day. Like I really want. What?
We are a far cry from listener call-ins.
Of course, we're a far cry. I said someday. I would like someone to call in, right? Like eventually, we're gonna run out of shit to talk about. This list, you're right. You made a point last week that like these lists are finite, and we're gonna.
I always wanted to see what 2050 would be like.
At some point, I'm gonna have to start shit talking Star Wars to generate views, just like.
Oh God.
Yeah.
But then, what kind of views are we getting?
Kind of views are we getting? It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it.
No.
We will attract all the ire of all those sad, sad people.
Well, but then we might as well talk about Game of Thrones.
That's true. I'm just wondering, like, how soon do I have to start spouting conspiracy theories about movies? Like, how far am I willing to go to make this podcast succeed?
I'll let Justin take over for those episodes.
Okay. It's all right. He won't support it either, but okay.
No, we're gonna have to force another intervention on you.
I don't remember the first one. Meaning it failed.
No, I think I made a joke about giving you one because you were sending me gifts like a dad.
Oh yeah. Like a grandma. That was your joke. But
same energy.
So yeah, Wild West Comedy Show, 30 Days and 30 Nights, Hollywood to the Heartland. That's the fifth result under 30 Days of Night. Apparently, they did make a sequel in 2010. 30 Days.
Seen the first. No, we don't have to keep talking about that movie.
Huh? Okay.
There's other. I was just bringing it up because I wanted to talk about other similar vampire content, but
yeah,
there's not a lot of vampire comedy, is there?
No, not really. I wouldn't say so at all. Let's see here. There was Fright Night. So like, let's see. I'm on Amazon. Right, Dracula 3
Amazon.
Legacy. Dracula 3000, just because it takes you to a link, you know. The Crazies. Let's see, Vamp.
Well, the Crazies was a more of a zombie.
Yeah, there's From Dusk Till Dawn. That's not a comedy per se, but
I don't know it.
you you've never seen From Dusk Till Dawn? From Dusk Till Dawn. I should enunciate properly.
From dust
From
to
Dusk.
dawn.
From Dusk. Dusk.
From dust
From
to
Dusk.
dawn.
From Dusk. You hear me?
From dust.
No, don't gaslight me like this. You hear me? I see your face.
Like when you, like when you go into a room you haven't been in a while,
Uh-huh.
and on the shelves it's dusty.
Shut up. Oh my god. No, From Dusk Till Dawn. You haven't seen it.
No, I haven't.
No, I don't remember.
And it's a
Salma Hayek.
vampire movie.
It's a vampire movie. But it doesn't. Here's the thing: it doesn't become a vampire movie until spoilers for like a 30-year-old film. It doesn't become a vampire It doesn't become a vampire movie until halfway through the movie.
Ooh.
I don't remember.
Is Harvey Keitel a vampire?
No, Harvey Keitel is a sad, lonely single father with 2 kids, just trying to take his kids out on a vacation.
Oh no!
And
no. Poor Harvey Keitel.
Him and his kids are taken hostage by 2 bank robbers that are currently fleeing from the scene of the crime. Those bank robbers are played by George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino.
And this is a vampire movie.
This is a vampire movie. This is how the movie opens. This is what I'm telling you. The movie doesn't open as a vampire film. What happens, this is the situation, right? Harvey Keitel is just a guy with his kids trying to go on a vacation because I think his wife passed or some shit. And he used to be a priest, right? And that becomes important later. He used
like
to be
a Catholic priest?
like a Catholic priest, I guess, and like I think he adopted his kids or whatever. And what he
you don't
did,
really see that much.
No, you don't. What happens is he again, him and his family get taken hostage by George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino, who are brothers and who have just robbed a bank.
Jesus.
Right?
I mean, I can see that, but
yeah. And Quentin Tarantino's character has just like raped and murdered a woman, I believe. I think that they don't say rape, I don't think, but I think it's implied, or at the very least murder, and George Clooney's not happy about it. So what they do is they need to meet George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino. They need to meet their contact, their fence, or whoever they made a deal with, in order to like exchange the money for like new identities and shit, so they can move along, right? So they can get away. But they have this family as hostage in the meantime. And they stop by this trucking spot. They tell the criminals, say, hey, meet us at this truck stop. It's a titty bar in the middle of nowhere. And
what is it?
It's a titty bar.
Oh, okay.
All right, it's got big neon tits hanging above.
Does it really?
Yeah, it does. And I think the name of the bar is From Dusk Till Dawn, I think.
What was that? What is it? What was it called?
From Dusk Till Dawn. And
okay,
it's like somewhere in Mexico, right? So I think they're in Mexico. Yeah. And what happens is they're in the bar, right? And then they go in and there's a cast of colorful characters. Danny Trejo. This is a younger, slimmer Danny Trejo, right? He's the bartender.
Was he selling his tacos back then?
No, he was selling beers. Yeah, he was selling beers. Cleaning mugs, selling beers. Salma Hayek is a stripper. I don't remember if you see her boobs or not, which is a weird thing to not remember. You think you'd remember that?
You just see them so much.
Oh, I'm sorry, but am I? But at a certain point in the movie, right, they get comfortable because they're waiting for the contacts to the criminal contacts to arrive. And then Salma Hayek has a whole like striptease show, right, with a snake. Ooh! I'm just spoiling this whole movie.
What does the snake do?
It's just there to look cool,
Like, is it on her?
It's
or
on her. It's on her. You
on
know,
her
she's
shoulders?
she's posing with it. You know, she's gyrating and not jiggling. She's gyrating slowly. To entrance men, and then she turns into a vampire, starts eating people, and then all
Ooh.
the other staff also turn into vampires and begin to attack people.
Ooh.
This is all like a honeypot trap for truck drivers, right? So they get all these guys into the bar, right? Into the titty bar. They get them drunk and horny. So blood's flowing, I guess, right? I don't know what sort of logic Robert Rodriguez had for this, but
This was a Robert Rodriguez.
this is a Robert Rodriguez film. And so
Trejo makes more sense now.
yeah. And then they all attack. And then now the two bank robbers, don't forget, there's two bank robbers and Harvey Keitel and his kids there, and a few other of these like weird strangers who are just around these weird characters who are there, and now they're in this monster movie situation and they don't know what to do. They're having to figure it out on the fly, and they're just trying to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually pretty smart because like if you just did the titty bar, wouldn't be a very long movie. Like it wouldn't be a very long. It'd be a short film basically if you just did the titty bar with vampires. That's why they have like this whole really long setup of the two bank robbers and the family taken hostage, and it just so happens that the father used to be a priest, so he could make holy water that could be used against the vampires. That's where that plays.
Is that how that works?
That's how that works. Apparently,
As soon as you get your priest card, you can just, no matter what happens, you just have the power.
Well, I think the question does come in. The question does come up where Harvey Keitel, I think he says, "I gave up my faith years ago. I don't think it'll work." And George Clooney, again, a bank robber, just says, "Just fucking do it." I think he says, "Just fucking do it," or "Just try it." Right. And I think it ends up working like an acid for vampires.
Wow.
And so
That's actually a funny thing that comes up in What We Do in the Shadows as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's always a thing. That's always a plot device.
Mm-hmm.
Holy water is it burns the vampires.
Yeah.
There I want to mention at least other things to entice you.
Yeah.
To draw you and the listeners in.
And the listeners.
There's a scene where obviously throughout the show, sorry, I guess I'm taking over from Dusk Till Dawn.
That's fine.
Dusk Till Dawn.
Dusk.
But there is a scene that you reminded me of. I forget the setup for it exactly, but obviously there's a lot of human characters. They're just living in Staten Island, so there's a lot of the stuff they're doing, they're talking to humans or whatever. But someone dies, so the vampires, the group as a whole, all go to a funeral, I think it was. And obviously it's in a church, so it's a service, and the idea is like in other vampire movies, a vampire wouldn't step foot in a church. The crosses, the holiness of it, they would burn on the spot. But for some reason, just one of the vampires was really connected to some character, but that character died, so they go to the funeral, and they're all sitting there, and then it cuts to them in the pews in the back, and they're all just smoking. They're all just sitting there, and then their eyes are burning because and they're literally smoking. There's just smoke coming from their bodies, and they're all just like, "Hey, this really sucks, but I'm here for you. But I'm gonna go now because I'm about to die." And
That's
then
good.
the one guy is like, "Yes, I understand. Thank you for being here." And it's just he's in pain. And then one of them, the guy who's connected to whoever the human character was, he's just like he's trying to stick it out, and he's with the familiar. Guillermo's there.
Yeah.
And Guillermo's fine, obviously, but then the one vampire, he's just trying to tough it out, and then he literally lights on fire. He's just burning in a pew. So Guillermo runs over and he grabs a little pot, the little like the dipping thing of
the holy water.
He pours it on him. He's just screaming. The bag's just thrashing around. It doesn't kill him. It's not super like
Yeah.
intense like a lot of the movies. It's
Hmm.
just really sucks for the vampire. And then he just after they leave, he's just giving Guillermo a look. He's like, really?
you,
Holy water
you
was your
thought that
best
would
plan?
work? Oh my god.
That was a good one.
No, that does sound like a great gag. I do have to watch. That's on Hulu, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's on
It's
Hulu.
on Hulu.
I just got Hulu. Okay, well we're just about at the hour mark, so I think
All
that's
right, then I have one question for you.
yes.
Given the opportunity,
Uh-huh.
in that you knew a friendly vampire,
Uh-huh.
one that you could trust wasn't going to suck you dry,
Uh-huh.
would you take his offer? Would you
Uh-huh.
gain eternal life?
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah. Easy.
You can't go out in the sun
Easy.
ever.
Easy.
Easy.
Done.
This is easy to
Easy.
you? Eternal
Easy.
life.
Eternal life. I never have to go out in the sun where it's hot. Easy.
Everyone you know will eventually grow old and die.
I'll get over it. You know? Even if I, like pick a certain select number of people, I've thought about this before. Even if I
boy.
select a certain amount of people who are just like, I truly love these people, I will turn them into vampires with their consent. I will be with them forever. And if somehow that does not turn out well, I'll just have to live with that. If they somehow, over the centuries, kill me, I'll be fine with that. Because ultimately, there is no, if we know the universe at large, right? And here's another thing, right? If vampires are real, right? And that sort of implies that all the other monsters are real, right? Including ghosts are real, and that the afterlife is real, right? Then I'm happy. No matter the outcome, because that means, like, I'd love to be like a vampire and then a ghost, right? Or even just like,
So you think
what?
as a vampire you eventually get destroyed, you get killed,
Yeah,
you become a ghost after?
I think so. I think everything become a ghost?
I I mean,
I mean,
I would say
like, here's the thing. Ideally, I think by the lore, you become a vampire, so you sold your soul to Satan, right?
yeah.
So then your soul goes to hell. I'm fine with that.
Okay, good. As long as you're okay with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah, yeah. We'll see what it's like. Point is, like,
Just test it out.
there's more. There's always more. That's the idea, right?
I like to think hell is like how it's depicted in Little Nicky,
Yeah,
the Adam Sandler movie.
like, it's just a place. It's a place with a yeah.
Rodney Dangerfield's just shoving pineapples up Hitler's ass.
Yeah, there's a guy with boobs on his head for no apparent reason. It's like, where's a bra to hold him up?
Then wasn't Rodney Dangerfield kind of into it?
I guess so. Yeah, it was weird.
Rodney Dangerfield as Lucifer.
That's right. I forgot. Oh boy, I forgot, man. Wow, that movie was like in the 90s.
Yeah,
yeah.
that wasn't.
Can't believe he lived
Everyone
that
always
long.
remembers the Water Boy and Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Nobody ever remembers.
Nobody
Little Nicky.
remembers Little Nicky. You know where I saw Little Nicky? In Mexico on TV, in Spanish.
Oh boy,
In Spanish. Yeah. So when I saw that movie, it was in Spanish.
How many times did they say El Diablo?
El Diablo. Oye, it's Little Nicky. Like, fucking, it's. That's just the way it is. I saw that movie in Spanish, and I saw a lot of stuff in Spanish because I just spent a lot of summers in Mexico as a kid. But yeah, no, it's like, sure. If I knew a friendly vampire who's going to turn me into a vampire, yeah, I'd take it.
All right, well,
Yeah, I'd take it, no problem.
watch the show and then tell me what you think. Not that I think it's going to discourage you, but if anything, it might encourage you because it does seem like they have a lot of fun on the show.
Yeah, be great to just be like immortal at specific times of the day, and then just like do whatever you want because you can do whatever you want, and it's just complete freedom. It's an easy sell. You're not really, you can never stand in the sunlight. I can go hiking at night. Not that I'll ever go hiking on purpose.
Well,
like
as a vampire, I don't think hiking really holds much for you.
Oh yeah, and then can they turn into bats?
They can actually.
Yeah, they'll turn into a bat, fucking fly around and shit. You know, it's got to be.
I think it's just a power they all have, but for some reason, one of the other characters, Laszlo, he has to call it out every time. He's just bat, and then poof, and he flaps away. And then you'll also hear him when he comes flapping in, human form, and then poof, he's back again.
What was it? I was watching a little compilation of Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer because I'd never seen the entire show, but the compilation begins with just like a compilation of him just running into a building or something, constantly smoking. Like it's daytime, it's like the morning, and he's like covered in like a towel or a blanket or something, and for some reason he's just like, I'm gonna go over to this place, but I need to like cover up. And he always runs in smoking or on fire, and it's just a compilation of all the times he's done that in the show. And then there's like
strange that he's done it so much. He needs there's a compilation video of
it. Like he doesn't mind. He just like it looks ridiculous, and it's always alarming because he's smoking. Like he's smoking, and even though he's completely clothed, has the towel on, he's still smoking. And
I guess I didn't realize it. It's just a smoking vampire is funny on its own. It's just funny.
Just a smoking person or whatever.
Because they're sitting in a church minding their own business, or they're just running from shop to shop across the street.
There's a clip of Spike where he I guess he trips and falls, and he has a lot of those in the show apparently, where he trips and falls and gets knocked out, and so he's just sitting.
Oh no!
He's just like knocked out, and so he wakes up because like he starts smoking, right? But he's still asleep, and then his hand catches fire because there's direct sunlight on it, and that's when he wakes up. It's fun.
Good, he woke up.
Yeah, spontaneous combustion, love it. Well, not spontaneous combustion, human
that's
combustion. That's
also what's funny about it.
Yeah, it's great.
It's not. I guess it's not spontaneous, but
it is
vampire
very funny.
Combustion.
People just catching fire is hilarious.
Funny in vampires. Hey, you should check out What We Do in the Shadows.
You should
get it wherever you can. It's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu, but get it wherever. I had to sneeze there. I sneezed again.
I guess you can't say the word Hulu without sneezing.
I can say Hulu. See, I did it. I disproved your bogus theory there in moments. Boom! I win.
Right. You're going to end right now and just start dying on the side.
All right, that's the end of the episode, people. Check us out next time. Check us out on the Discord server.
If we have an actual follower, if you're really out there, can say something. Let me know.
Say something. Get in the server.
I'll shout you out, I promise.
Get in the server. You know, we're real people. You know, this is a very small podcast. We're real people. You can just ask us questions, and we can talk about stuff. Maybe you've seen something. Maybe you're from a foreign country, and you have a show that you're like, nobody knows about this because it's not a part of the American pop culture zeitgeist. You know? You know, there's a lot of shows out there. A lot of countries are making excellent television right now, and it's not getting as much attention.
If you're here and you're catching us this early on, I think we will go to great lengths to follow our very first fan suggestions.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So if you want to give us something we can talk about, we'll track it down.
Yeah, and if it's not good, we will never speak of it again.
We will rip you to shreds.
We will destroy you.
We will carry pitchforks and torches to the town square.
To the town square, wherever that may be. All right, I'm going to call it there. This has been the Consume Content Podcast, Episode 7. I've been Josh. This has been Matt.
I'm Matt.
Bye.